Hello, hello, hello. We're back in Santa Monica as per usual. Some sights of the pier there. I went whale watching in a boat once, so I didn't go whale watching, but I saw a whale when I was in a boat. There are some facts for you down at Newport Beach, but it is Santa Monica a bit further up here where the ECS studio is. I actually saw a guy who had like a little magic show on the pier, and he was a CSGO fan. I think I mentioned this before, but I don't think you were here at the time. You should turn your mic on, then people can hear you. See this one. There you go.
One. That's the one.
Welcome, welcome. So, yeah, he had the microphone on. He said like, "Hello, James. Are you James?" I was like, "Nope, that's not me. I'm not trying to have a conversation through a speaker, you know." But then I came back and said, "Yeah, I am." But I thought he was going to try and make me part of the show. I wasn't trying to be part of the show at that moment in time. So here we are. Anyway, we're wearing Sean's gifts. Fight the power. Sean's joined the Black Panthers. Welcome.
Maybe not that.
Well, anyway, these are all courtesy of Sean. So thank you very much. I love that. This thing over here is amazing. But there we go. There's Bardoff and James. It's unreal, man.
The white is on the
I like how it actually contrasts with my watch. I'm wearing the right watch today.
Illuminated
for it. So marvelous stuff. And it's not however many numbers are here since we could draw on the map. It's 398 days. Sean thinks it's going to get to this number. I sincerely hope not. You want to draw on a map as well? I've watched your videos. I watched your Hey guys, Sean here, and he's like, went to draw on a map. It's like, oh, I can't draw on a map.
Yeah, you can't do it anymore.
It sucks, doesn't it?
It's very difficult to explain everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're trying to educate the masses, right? We can't do it. Yeah. I refuse to use external
I will software. Educate our viewers on something. I had an almond croissant.
Oh yeah?
This morning for the first time ever.
First time ever?
They're very good.
Better
than the chocolate ones.
Feel good about it?
Feel really good about it.
That's nice, man.
Highly recommend if you haven't had one yet.
They're common in London.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're common in France, though. They probably are.
Probably so.
But anyway, we've got some Counter-Strike to come for you. We had a long day of action yesterday in Europe and North America, quarterfinals galore. And now we find ourselves at the semi-finals. Today we've got one from Europe and one from North America for you. So we're going to start with Europe. We can have a look at the bracket and see how yesterday's action went down. Plenty of action too. We had Tricked versus 7, 2-0. We watched the Spada versus Virtus.pro, and Virtus.pro managed to finish off the job there 2-1, and they'll be playing Tricked in the next part of the bracket. Heroic and Big, that was quite disappointing performance from Big. I mean, it was a strange one, but maybe we can talk more about that when it is time. Mix and Avantgarde. Mix took the first map actually in that series, but Avantgarde managed to close it out 2-1. So very back and forth affair. We can have a look at today's schedule and see what match we have coming up for you. We have one semi-final today and one semi-final tomorrow. So today is going to be Tricked versus Virtus.pro. Tricked having some recent success in was it Budapest?
Yeah.
Budapest.
Yeah. They actually beat Virtus.pro in the finals 2-1. I think that was a best of 3 Virtus.pro could have won potentially. I think some of the players didn't really show up as much as they did earlier in the tournament. They took out some big scalps earlier in the event though. Like I think they beat Mouse Sports and NIP. Tricked also had a really good tournament. Obviously, they won it, and Bubsky came up huge. I mean, Bubsky and A-Core, I think, are the people to watch for Trick.
Okay.
Yeah.
From week to week, these teams are fighting for a place at the finals in Arlington, in Texas. The ECS finals season 8 are going to be in the esports arena down there, and we've been there before. It's going to be pretty good, and you can get tickets. I don't need tickets, but you can get tickets at ecs.faceit.com. You can get all the information there, or csgoleague.com. Tickets are available now, I do believe. So get involved, get yourself some tickets, and yeah, we're going to have some action for you. We can look at the veto for the coming series, Tricked and Virtus.pro. We have a rematch. No Vertigo, that's a shame.
Could see some Nuke, yeah. Tricked loves playing Nuke. We saw Virtus.pro play Nuke yesterday.
Nuke, Mirage, and Train. These are the maps that we're going to have here, Nuke, Mirage, and Train. Have you seen much Tricked?
Yes.
Apart from V4?
Just from V4, though.
Yeah?
I always liked watching them because I think Hunden has a lot of really cool tactics and like small little additions and innovations when he calls. So like when I was in-game leading on Misfits, instead of watching like a lot of the tier 1 teams, for me to create innovations, I would watch teams like Tricked. And Tricked has always done like stuff to like push the envelope, you know, keep the scene moving forward as far as strategy goes. So I think there's always stuff you can gain from watching them.
Man like Hunden. It's been a while. It's been a minute since we seen him playing.
Yeah, I think that's Tricked are probably going to be a good shout for this one as well. Considering that they came off of they just played a match as well right before this.
They just played a match? That's good.
Did they? Huh.
Virtus.pro just played a match as well.
Yeah.
To get to here. They
can't,
both did. They both just played a match. Now what?
I can't imagine how draining it is for Hunden. You know, like he constantly has to teach people, and then they just get poached by like better teams, and then he just has to start all over again. Same thing.
So it's like the DAPS.
Yeah.
DAPS
It's
maneuver.
It's way worse though.
He'd get kicked.
I feel like in his contract he should have a clause where every time someone gets bought out, he gets a raise.
Yeah, he gets like a bonus.
What do you think about that?
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, he should definitely be negotiating that, right?
Compensation.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good idea.
You set me back 2 months. So
Waste my time.
what are you gonna do about it?
It costs money.
That's so demotivating. That's happened to me a few times in the past. So it's the worst when you have like a young, like obviously player that's going to be super sick, and you get to just get him up to speed, and then he gets scooped away. That's the worst one. That's the worst one. Yeah.
Does not feel good.
All right, well, let's make our predictions then for this one. I'm going with... I haven't seen enough of Tricked personally, so I think I have to pick Virtus.pro. It's kind of a crappy... This is where I would normally sit on the fence, but they've made an overlay, so I kind of have to pick someone. So I want to pick Virtus.pro, but really, I don't really have a pick because I haven't seen enough of Tricked, and I like to make informed decisions, but I don't really have an informed one to make it. It's a journey of discovery for me.
Maybe for the next prediction segment, they can make a picture of a fence and just put your head on it.
Yeah. Ever since James got this crystal coin, he's so only pick with a lot of information.
Well, this is how you get the crystal coin, mate. This is how you get the crystal coin. You gotta make those informed decisions, man. I thought about that stuff. I thought about those brackets. I stared at that stuff. I looked at your videos a little bit. I'd already made my decisions for the most part though. But I was thinking a lot, man. I don't want a poverty coin in my inventory.
Poverty coin.
I want crystal and diamond only.
I got the tournament winner and I still could get crystal. That's a little bit.
Do you know what? Some of those earlier areas were like skin of my teeth I got through.
Yeah.
You know, like Mouse Sports always disappointed me at majors.
That was a little bit heartbreaking. The teams they played.
Yeah. That was
not
rough.
Very fair.
But you know, I'm waiting to shout man like Rops at LAN, but it never gets there, man. Never gets there.
You smell what the Rops is cooking.
Dan, who are you gonna pick for this?
I'm going Tricked. I got a feeling Siggy's gonna go Tricked as well.
Yeah, I'm going Tricked.
Is that why you're going?
No.
Okay.
I learned that lesson yesterday.
Okay. Because there was a lot of following yesterday. Oh, that's not a bad logo. I don't even recognize their logo.
I don't know. What is that animal?
Raccoon?
That's a raccoon?
Looks like a raccoon.
Are there raccoons in Europe?
I mean, are they classed as vermin here?
I don't know. I love raccoons though. They're so awesome.
When I was at the Boston Major, I had insomnia, so I went out at 3 o'clock in the morning and it was like minus 10 degrees or whatever.
Yeah.
And I saw a raccoon raiding a bin, and I've never seen a raccoon before. It was like a bear mixed with a badger.
Yeah, trash pandas.
Yeah, trash pandas is a very good way to put them. So where do you sit on this one?
Trash pandas.
You going for the trash pandas?
Yeah.
All right. If you had to make a team and you had to choose the animal, if there was an animal involved, what would you choose?
I really do like raccoons. Maybe like an otter, actually. We don't have an otter.
Narwhal?
Otter. No. Non-narwhal.
Platypus?
Is narwhal the thing with the thing on its head?
It's pretty
I'd go with a honey badger.
Honey badger?
Ripping a snake's head off.
Okay. What would be the team name? How are you going to tie this all in?
Honey badgers.
Just prison squad, probably.
Prison squad, I think, might be a stretch. I don't want to make merch on prison squad. That might be that's just asking for trouble for me. All right, let's look at the numbers then. Pinnacle, what have you got for us? We've got the people's vote. This is going to be interesting, actually. I'm not sure where to go with this one. Obviously, the Polish contingent is always there. So there's some pretty solid support, but 34% is not bad. I think Tricked are... I mean, they're an org who have been around for a while for sure, but you don't often see them at the upper echelons of Counter-Strike at the moment. So to see 34%, because I think with the people's vote, there's a lot of like fan base. It's a fan base vote, right?
For sure.
So 34% is really solid. It's nice. It shows some maturity. We're growing. We're growing as a people together. You know, Michael Jackson would be proud. Heal the world and all that. All right, Pinnacle odds. Let's see what you got for us. I really didn't know. I really didn't know where to go.
From Dan.
Yeah, it's been a no response day so far. Okay, so Tricked are the favorite on Pinnacle. Maybe I've made a terrible mistake, but again, like it's not an informed decision. I'm just picking because I have to. I have no choice.
They just beat him twice online, so that's probably why.
Okay, so I won't look too much into this.
Smart money on Tricked.
Yeah, smart money's on Tricked. I don't know, man. I like my Gołąbki and my pierogi, so I'm going to stay with the Poles. There's still a restaurant around the corner. Oh, I haven't told you this. Have you ever tuned into Jason R stream?
Yes.
Okay, so he's got these emotes. Solidarity.
I saw it on the way here. I walked.
You saw it?
Yeah. Yeah, I was
do
gonna take a
wonder.
picture and send it to Jason.
Yeah, well, I had no idea because I never tuned
Yeah.
into a stream, but I took a picture because I really want to go to that restaurant,
Yeah.
and then like 50 people tweeted him the picture.
Oh,
So I wonder
really?
if it's a coincidence or if he like went
Oh,
past it or something, because it's like the same kind of lettering and
Yeah.
stuff, you know.
You see, I was gonna take the picture and send it to him, but that's not even original at all. You said 50 people already sent it to him.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's just
that's
I just
one
got
of those
loads of
annoying-
replies.
I'm like
just
the
said,
annoying
at
person.
Jason. Yeah, he's kind of Polish, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Right? That's
Maybe there's a connection. He didn't reply to any of the tweets though.
Oh, he's ignoring you.
Well, I didn't tweet him, but everyone else did.
Oh.
But he didn't reply to any of their tweets, so I don't really know.
Maybe he knows he stole it.
Maybe, or maybe it's like a family thing. I don't know. I really want to go there though. When it's closed, they take the menu in, so I can't even see the menu. But I mean, it's Polish food, so I know the menu. Get the borscht in there, get the pierogi. I'm good to go, pretty much. Take some
Pierogies are
recommendations.
good.
Soup and a starter.
You know what,
Two
cabbage,
starters.
pierogi,
Good to go.
Oh, the
pierogi
cabbage.
is the best implementation of cabbage ever.
Yeah.
Kimchi.
Cheese and cabbage.
Kimchi.
Nah,
Kimchi
Nah,
is
man,
definitely
pierogi,
better.
pierogi
we had
beats
this
kimchi.
like meat and cabbage dish.
Kimchi
for
definitely
the
wins.
major. Oh, there's a specific name for it. It's like chopped up cabbage. Like meat with a sauce.
Was it catering
No, it's from restaurants.
in a restaurant? We went
It's like
to
a Katowice special.
we went to an amazing Russian restaurant in Berlin.
Yeah.
I found like one of the best restaurants in Berlin by far, easy.
it's
It
Russian.
was really good. It was great, man. Had a great time there. Went there with Vladislava. It was fun.
Had
Got
a
to
lot
translate some meals for me.
Yeah. I had a lot of sushi when I was in Berlin.
Yeah, by the mall. In the
Yeah.
mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I battered that sushi place. It was good. They didn't speak much English there at all.
No.
No.
None.
yeah. Yeah. It was good though. They had the like this crunchy roll thing where they put
Yeah.
crunchy stuff on the outside.
Mhm.
It was fantastic, man. I love food. As you may have noticed, I take lots of pictures of food, which I think triggers Lurpus, so I take more now.
Wait,
I
what's
don't
up?
mind triggering. I don't think he. I don't.
Oh,
I,
you trigger
I don't think he
Lurpus.
understands the point of pictures of food.
Oh. Yeah, that seems like
I
something.
don't
that
feel
would
like he
annoy
has
him.
a
a lot
right
of
to get
things.
triggered though.
A lot of things annoyed Tommy.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
He's constantly spamming everyone's feed with trying to short Tesla. So,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
don't know if, don't know if he's really one
Still
to
don't
crit-
have him muted
critique.
for some reason. I don't,
Yeah,
I'm just-
same.
I
think I'd like it.
I used
Yeah.
to do a lot of. Yeah, I don't mind it. I used to do a lot of stock stuff, so I'm kind of interested. I wouldn't short stuff because you can lose a lot of money doing that, and
Yeah.
I'm not really about that life. But it's interesting. But he's so biased, but it's kind of in an amusing way.
It is
Oh,
amazing.
So it's like
It's so
just try and turn the knife in any way
Yeah.
possible, anything, you know, just like just putting it out there.
So some days I just see like good Tesla news and I just want to retweet it just because.
yeah, yeah.
I don't even particularly like Tesla.
I got in a Tesla the other day in San Diego. Bumped into DJ. He's renting a Tesla.
Oh,
They're so fast. Oh my
They're
god,
really
they're
fast.
so
I had an
fast.
Uber that was a Tesla once.
They're so fast.
The acceleration just catches you off
Yeah.
guard. You just like
it
not,
doesn't make sense.
you're just not expecting it.
It's so fast.
Yeah.
Have you ever done the
crazy.
autopilot, the auto drive thing?
Yeah, yeah.
I was actually test driving one the day it came out, and the guy was like, "Take your hands off the wheel." I didn't even know it existed. It was about the most terrifying thing I've ever done.
Dude, it doesn't make sense. It's the future when you go in one of those things and it does like I mean, I think the fastest one does 0 to 60 more like 2.4
Tommy is so
or
mad
something.
Right now.
and then
Tommy
there's
is so mad.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like an ad for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the electric cars are the future, man. They are
I
so
thought you had to
sick.
keep your hands on the wheel.
No, the guy told me to take my hands
Maybe
off.
in Europe. Europe's got weird laws. Like the European
Oh.
Union, for example, they have to play a sound out of the speakers so people can hear the car coming. So people don't just walk into the road and get wrecked, basically.
Oh,
Because here they're just like silently moving past, right? But
yeah.
I guess just crossing the road casually between cars is a lot more common in Europe.
Mm.
So the cars in the European Union have to just like make this kind of like engine-ish noise
Mm.
so people can be aware. We're
Yeah.
going to start the game soon. One player timed out, so hopefully they'll be sorting that soon, and then we'll be into the game. We're very close to 400, man. Should we do something for 400 days?
Oh, it's gonna be. Yeah, we're gonna
It's
be
on
here.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can we do?
I don't know, man. It's like it's just it's not something to be happy about, but I suppose you need to keep the information out there. The people are behind me though. The people are behind it. But definitely, there's like 1,000 likes
Have
every
you
time I tweet.
gotten any response from the devs?
No. But they won't. Well, sometimes I have separate conversations with them about different things.
Yeah.
So, because I've emailed them, I sent them a massive email and they didn't reply because they don't
Yeah.
want to like confirm or deny anything. Okay,
Sure.
they want to leave it grey. But because they've said before they don't want to say that they're going to do something, and then maybe something changes or it's not appropriate or it's delayed, and then you know they set expectations and then don't meet them for whatever reason. So they don't reply when I directly engage them about that. But there was one bug I found in the game which I emailed them, and they replied and said thanks. I assume the game is completely perfect apart from this, so I'm being trolled about it, I feel like. Which gives me hope that they're doing something in the background, because again, we didn't ask just to draw on a map, but we asked to be able to, for example, have a team of players and you can draw and everyone sees it, so you can create a strat, which you could have a setting so you can turn it off in case people spam or whatever, or you know, you can opt in.
And stuff like that.
Yeah. But no, I think it's very powerful. But even, not just for people in the team, but for, again, one thing I used to do when I got fragged in a round is talk about what we were trying to do or what's going on, or you know the kind of the power of what's happening or what could be happening and so on and so forth. And doing that without the map, some people think I'm toxic.
Yeah, no, I really,
like I'm just trying to explain some stuff to people and trying to educate.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
People think you're toxic when you die and you're watching it. Like, this is what should have happened. You show like lines on the map. I would love doing that.
Yeah.
Like back in the day when I was streaming. But
yeah, people are like, why are you criticizing so
I
much?
haven't been able to do that.
No, this is just
days.
we're thinking about the game. This is what you're supposed to do.
It's great.
People want to derp, man.
What was the reason for taking that out?
I don't think they took it out per se. I think that it is, well, some people surmise that it was something to do with Flash. I don't really know, because I have no confirmation from them as to how it worked in the background.
Is that like Panorama?
Yeah, wasn't it when Panorama came in?
Yeah, scale form. It was a scale form thing. Panorama came in it, and it wasn't in Panorama. But I think it's.
So we can't.
I think now it's based on the same stuff as Dota, and Dota you can draw and stuff. So theoretically,
so basically,
it should just
because you need to have yourself scubaing in the background, we can't draw on the maps. So you're the one to blame, actually.
Man, that's such a sick. That video fits the screen so perfectly.
It's very nice.
It's funny, that video. People thought it was fake at first.
Yeah.
They thought I was behind like a green screen.
Yeah.
Because it's so clear and stuff, and it's like that's just Caribbean waters, man. That's just how they are.
Was that with a GoPro you filmed that? What cameras?
GoPro, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, GoPro, but it's.
But they're not sponsoring the stream, so.
There's enough light.
Not a GoPro. Just
not
unidentified
a GoPro.
camera.
Bardoff Pro.
Bardoff Pro.
Okay, so we've got a last player back on the server now, and hopefully we'll be starting soon. Man, we had a tough loss yesterday. So for those of you who were tuned in on the stream, we had a good run of games.
TFTI.
We played Dust 2. Huh?
TFTI, by the way.
What's that?
Thanks for the invite.
Oh, I don't have you on Steam.
It's not my problem.
Well, it was a good game, but we messed up a few things. We did a retake on Dust 2, me and a friend, against an all-part, and I thought he would have gone long. I scrambled to find a smoke, but I threw the smoke onto site before clearing the site. But what I did, I threw the smoke for old Dust 2, where it would land right in the corner. So if the guy was long, then you could cover and defuse. Yeah. But it doesn't really work that way on new Dust 2, and he was on the site. So I made too many assumptions, and then he was kind of stuck in the smoke.
Yeah.
I tried to spray the smoke, ran out of bullets. He walked out of the smoke and shot me while I was defusing the bomb, and my friend was just lost in the smoke. So
oh no, the whole lost in the smoke clown fiesta.
It was a rough one. It was a rough one. So there we go. We have filled enough, and now it's time to start the game. Tricked on Nuke. I'm looking forward to this.
Dude, Acor and Bubsky. Even Shush.
Row J. Row like Cod Row. Shush. Bubsky and Acor.
Bubsky was the MVP of V4. This team is so young and so good.
Well, Hundit, the man of the hour. I'm so curious to see what he's going to be able to show us in this one. I'm actually not sure about the pronunciation of shush, because I know in Swedish that would be pronounced in a weird way, so the SJ together makes like a sound. But either way, Virtus.pro. Oh, nice shots from PHR, looking to reclaim some territory towards the ramp here. But Tricked have managed to find themselves quite a lot of positioning. Row just out of the vent. Takes down Snacks. Veggie on the side. He could do so much damage here. Right in the corner. They haven't checked the full site. And that's going to be the bomb down. Let's see if they get another chance to plant that one. The CTs are dwindling in numbers, though. And there they go. They have heavy control once again. And PHR is so patient. My God. Quad kill from him. Still has an HE.
That was mental. Trick got inside secret, They came up the vents. They came through mini. They were in heaven. They came out the hut. They literally came from every entrance. And they somehow lost their... They had like full map control. I don't even know how that's possible. They had everything.
It looked really weird.
Yeah.
Looking at the minimap and just seeing them everywhere. Just like...
They were everywhere.
But it is the pistol, I guess, so pistols can get weird. And Trick to go for the full save. Just one flashbang. I like it. You were saying yesterday, Sean, that shows that they have trust. They
Yes.
bought into the game plan of the leader.
All blocks.
In
They're
the
all
window.
going to get owned.
Sounds like there'll be a bounce, but how would you know where to look? I suppose you could look down. I don't know the science behind looking down versus on a flashbang, but anyway, they're still in a tight choke point, very easily avoided. You do the best you can do, but such are the nature of the choke points and the layout of A that you'll be lucky to flash everybody in such a situation. But they try to concentrate the numbers, they try to burst into the site. It's the best you can sometimes hope for. Doesn't quite work out, and here comes the Krieg party. 1 AK though.
Yeah, showing the AK some love. Yeah. Is it Row? I take it that J has to be silent, right?
I'll just go with Row.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Cod Row.
Ooh, fast outside.
Oh, nice HE
that's
there
meaty.
from VP. That's such a huge HE because it knocks them all below 17. So like the headshot, the one headshot from the MP9 might be enough from certain ranges. Okay, more damage done, but PHR is lost. Oh, what the hell was that? Snacks with MP9? What the hell is that? Oh, I don't understand. But Trick have themselves a lower sight. So, yeah. Looking pretty good for them.
FYI, guys, when you're coming from Secret and you're smoke mauling the ramp, U-Haul, you want to smoke the close side, you want to molly the left side, because someone in ramp can look down the angle and see you jumping out the window. So that's the sequence you want to do, not the opposite. A lot of people mess that up. It's very triggering. Guy coming out the window.
Alright, well this looks like the first round for Tricked. Early success to be had. Virtus.pro will try to hold on to what they have, and we'll see if they've learned some lessons from their previous engagements with Tricked. I'm sure it won't play out exactly the same way. Recent familiarity with each other. Things don't stay the same.
It's really not fair that, you know, the Danish scene is so deep that a team like Tricked is still really good. You know, like...
Yeah, yeah.
I think partly, I suppose, being in Europe as well, like one issue that in North America is finding good practice, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Which I think if that's stronger in general, then that's going to help your players come up because they're getting the right kind of education. They'll progress faster and in higher numbers than otherwise.
So the Danish scene, they have Astralis, North, Optic, who am I missing? Heroic, Tricked. They have another one? That's so insane.
Yeah,
That's actually insane.
that's pretty
Five
good.
teams.
The cool thing is all those teams we've seen, you know, can win tournaments at different levels, which is pretty solid. Oh, it's actually going for the slow re-peak, but I think I'll have to pay Trick some more respect than that. Lost 2 players. Is this one over? Definitely is now. PHR taken out, pushing the lobby. Virtus.pro unable to respond to this push on ramp from Tricks.
London with 2 big entries so far.
Snatchy was asking for a lot there with that re-peak. That slow re-peak. Do you remember the movement, the scoped-in movement with the AWP before they nerfed it?
How fast it was?
Yeah. It was like the crouch peaks around corners were absolutely bananas.
Wasn't there a time where that was also in the game with the CZ draw time? Like, I think they were simultaneously available.
Possibly, yeah.
It was just so stupid.
That was
Yeah.
a Smith's error.
Literally, people would just take out the CZ and you can immediately shoot. There's just...
That was like the time when Smith was really good, and he was using both of those things, CWAP and the CZ.
Yeah, the AWP was so massively abusable, peeking corners. I was annihilating people.
I remember like as an op at the start of Go, opping mid on T side Dust 2 was terrifying because how CTs would peek into you.
Yeah.
The double peek mid. That was so strong back in the day.
Yeah, the Smith's flashbang over the top
Yeah.
and then just the crouch peek is so fast. All you need to do is just have your flick ready.
Yeah.
Just need to identify the target fast enough. I can't do that. I can't peek mid like that. It's never. It's just not a thing. But that was wild, man. But on Inferno, you can just run around corners and just crouch peek everything. It was crazy.
So I would say that's probably just pronounced shoosh. Like,
Shoosh.
shoosh. A sh sound. Shoosh. Correct us if we are wrong. Send us those tweeters.
Flash peek. Very good.
Well, Snacks has a decent position, and what do you Trick to have to deal with him? Got to expect that player in main. These positions as well, the AWP can be annoying to deal with. Let's see if... Oh wow, Hunden, great.
Three entries now.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
And they'll take down PHR from heaven, and Snacks is going to have to fall all the way back. He's lost all of his support, but there is nowhere to fall back. And now it's just a case of just finishing off the round here because Tricked have significant advantages, but Veggie with a surprise for Bubsky might still keep them in the round as he who works his way to a frag up on the heaven position. And now they'll lock down the upper site. So somehow they've actually turned this around. With those 2 kills, now Tricked have to make some smart decisions. They'll move towards the lower bomb site.
We got timing.
And indeed, this round, I think if you were to describe it with one word, timing definitely comes to mind. Veggie and me finding good timings. Hunter now trying to go for the switcheroo. The fake, but oh, Veggie's so close. Surely Hunter gets shot in the back here. Could be a fake. Oh, he actually does go and pulls off of it. Veggie has to win the fight, and he will. And Virtus.pro, I don't know how they pulled that one back. That was really close.
Yeah, it looked like Tricked had all the advantage in the world after this frag, the Bubsky frag in the lobby, and he gets traded out. Yeah, the 2v4 kind of crumbles because of the one-on-ones.
Very important round for Virtus.pro to win. Both teams are on the edge of their economy now. Perhaps there are advantages to be had for the winner. Lost bonuses are in the bin. Bubsky makes his way towards the squeaky door. Maybe looking to make a hole in the door a little later on.
We must know exactly how many bullets it takes to make a hole in the door and was leaving it one short.
Okay. It's really not working outside. Or, well, I mean, it's been a rough start, I would say, for Snatchy with the AWP, outside, inside. See if he's able to adjust. It's still early. It's okay to have a rough start as long as you recover. Oh, dear. Poor positioning from Roger.
Yeah. You feel like that's something which is avoidable.
Wonder what... I mean, I can't imagine he was looking at something. I think he was just poorly positioned. It's a weird place to see where his body is. It's kind of unusual.
Yeah, he wasn't able to see anything from where he's just sitting. Just exposed.
So those are slightly different smokes to what we see from others. Closer to the outside of T-Red. So that one was closer to the inside.
Oh, look at this position.
This lurk is so good.
Oh my god, Bubsky could absolutely ruin them. There's the first. He finds the second player, but he can't get the kill. But still, that's some good damage. Oh my god, the nades have done so much here from PHR. He slowed them down so much. He's done so much damage. And they go straight up here. Snatchy's waiting with the AWP, hits the first shot. The second won't get the fatal exchange, but the time is of the essence here for A-Core. I don't know that he's going to be able to find a moment to get the kill and get the bomb down, and indeed he gets swarmed. So BP playing pretty well here in the, even though they are losing the first pick pretty reliably.
Yeah, they've broken the money. No bomb plant. That's the hard target. Snatchy delivering on the A-bomb site. That's what he needed from him.
It's kind of
So he's
crazy
warmed up.
that BP won that round, given the fact that, that entry and then we saw Bubsky lurk into ramp. Those are two like significantly advantageous scenarios for them in one round. They still lost it.
Molly on the ramp. Players will be isolated. Hunden left to regret Tight angle for Miyu to deal with. 2 kills, but Snatchy's here to deliver. This time he can go for the repeaks. Not terribly concerned. M4's been collected though. Not sure if he realizes that 2 of the players were there. Smoke's collected and his angle's being taken away. Snacks is here though, holding the angle. Really important. Tubovsky trying to punish the shot. Now Acor looking for damage. We've got PHR in a lower area, so a bomb plant may be difficult, and it'll be made more difficult by a headshot from Snatchy. Well, he's warmed up, nice to see. A rough start, but perhaps he has found parity. 5 rounds by elimination for Virtus.pro. 2 bomb plants for Tricked. Their money is not perfect. Their utility is kind of light. No HE for Squeaky Door. Perhaps it will be an outside play with these smokes.
So it seems like almost every gun is viable in CSGO, but if you had to buff one gun, what's it going to be, James?
If I had to buff a gun. You know what? It's weird. Part of me wants to say a 5.7, but if you look at Jerry from Fours, his first shot accuracy is excellent, and he batters people with the 5.7. So perhaps
Ethan
I'm the
did
problem.
too. Do you remember Ethan from the major?
The 5.7.
5.7, yeah. He was owning people with it.
Yeah, I feel like I missed the old 5.7, but maybe it was too strong. I think the balance is probably in the right direction now versus before, even though I'm kind of sad about it. So
not the 5.7.
well, I'm kind of thinking out loud, right? So probably not the 5.7.
I think it's about time for like a P90 buff.
I think the money is prohibitive. I don't know if it needs a buff though. I think it has well, unless you would include like a price reduction as a buff or a kill bonus. But Tricks are causing huge problems on the ramp. Again, the money's still brittle for Virtus.pro. Snacks forced away and he's being chased. There's a trade fragger in Hunden. Smart stuff from Tricks. Decisive. They smell blood in the water. They will claim a victim. These HEs have been really solid this entire game so far. PHR, he's maimed, but can he do more than that? So far, so good. Unable to trade frag while the bomb's getting planted. He's going to clean up everybody on the A bomb site. Marvelous stuff from him. A 3K on A. An expensive round for Virtus.pro, but they make it to 6.
This has to start getting a little bit tilting for Tricked because it seems like they have a man advantage in almost all of these gun rounds, and they're crumbling.
Yeah.
They're just crumbling whenever they enter the bomb sites.
I don't know what the current kill bonus is for the P90, because it was reduced because of the power of the gun, right?
Yeah.
So
is it 300?
Is it 300 or 100?
I think it's 300, isn't it?
I'm not sure, you know.
Oh, it's 300. Yeah.
It's 300.
Yeah, it's 300.
It's like the
Because it used to be more because it's an SMG, right? I think considering it's 2350 to buy it, it's more than a FAMAS.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you could recoup some of that money, like make it 400, then that would be enough of a buff.
Yeah. What about the dualies? How do we get more people using the dualies?
I try to use the dualies, like on a CT pistol, like if I'm playing Inferno, for example, that's not a good start. If you smoke apartments, if you think there's going to be a rush, then just stand in front of the smoke and spam. But it's even that, it's not reliable.
No.
Or on train.
I never feel comfortable when I have them. It's something about like the alignment. It's weird.
Dear. This time they've managed to abuse the numbers into the A bomb site tricks. No Julie's here, M4 and a Mac-10. Snatchy's got a good position, but maybe an awkward gun to take said position. It is Snatchy, however. He'll find a way to make it work. And then will be shot in, I don't know where.
VP, they're managing to find all the recoveries every round when things look like they could go sideways. Always a recovery to be had. PHR has been a big part of that. He's been really, really doing some heavy lifting.
Yeah, he's getting the impact frags.
Yeah.
He's the one that's like clawing them back into these rounds. I think Snatchy has had a lot of important off frags as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Julies are very unreliable, but I think they're a hard weapon to balance without making them overpowered if they're good.
I think you should make the knife, buff the knife.
Buff the knife.
So you start throwing it around like Soldier of Fortune.
Do you know what? There's a way you could buff the knife. If you're standing on someone's head, it's pretty hard to knife them. And if you're standing on someone's head and they're looking like straight forward and they swipe their knife, they can knife you in the back.
When are you standing on people's heads?
Why can't you headshot
Have you seen how I play that?
On 1.6, you could headshot people with a knife.
Yeah.
But we have the right-click backstab now, so at least there's that.
Ooh.
This is a buy round, let's not forget, from Trick. Doesn't look like it the way they're getting slaughtered on the outside. Stuck by T-Red.
They can't move forwards. They can't move forwards, and everyone's going to die. Not even, I don't think any
Yeah, this is
Trick
bad.
player has shot at a VP player. I think Mihu took mostly nade damage. That's not great, is it? And they already understand to look for Bubsky here. Nice shot from Bubsky. That's really good stuff, but doesn't expect that there will be another player in that position. Another round for VP, and this is starting to feel like if you're tricked, you just tilt away the rest of the rounds. I'm not saying that they are tilters or something, but there's a lot of stuff that's really just not gone very well for them.
Yeah, it's one of those bad places to be as an in-game leader because you've called all these strats, and you as the in-game leader know they've worked. These strats have worked. You've gotten the man advantage. You've entered the sites. You've played the post plants and late game scenarios wrong. Now, younger players don't really like wrap their heads around that.
Yeah,
they want to try something different, and you keep trying new things, and those new things are now just getting destroyed, like what you just saw. But the other team has also saw those old things, so it's like you get in this weird scenario where you don't know whether to go back to the old things that were working, even though they've seen them, or you want to call new stuff.
I remember talking to this when Threat was more active in CS, although he's doing stuff in Sweden now, but we used to talk about that a lot. Just that idea that you would see teams running stuff, and then they would just abandon it, even just because they would lose that round. Even if they get loads of advantages, and it just, the low percentage happens where they lose that round, they'd be like, oh, that doesn't work, so can't use it again. But it's more about understanding if you have put yourself in the advantages, and okay, that just didn't go well that time. But people lose faith and they lose confidence.
Yeah, that's what Connor keeps saying about these rushes in B bomb site.
Well, you got to know how to execute them, James. You lurking at the back as per usual.
What are you talking about?
Were you playing with
I'm
Connor
the
last
utility
night?
man. I'm the utility man.
Was Connor playing last night?
Yeah. Yeah, me, Connor.
How many utility men do you have, James, on these rushes?
I'm the only person who knows grenade stat. This is an awkward situation. I mean, this could be very costly for Virtus.pro. So this is a really weird one. Look at these choke points. There's so much utility for Tricked, and they've still got a HE to come. But they start to make their way out now. PHR trying to figure out which target to look at. The doors are open. There's a flashbang. Decontamination. Well, they're making some progress. Sees him, there's a rotation. One Tricked player was in the vent, but he makes his way around, and PHR starts to regret, moves back, and they will lose everything. There was a very high chance of that happening. They were in a really rough situation, but they've got the money to survive it. This is round 12, so I suppose it was a risk they considered worth taking, but it is a third round for Tricked now on their T side.
Yeah, with the way the vents operate now, how you have to go to the backside, it's very difficult when you have no vent control. Obviously, you're scared to drop in the vents, and you're coming from U-Haul, but the T's have smokes and mollies, and they can just keep mollying and smoking U-Haul, and you have to rush into the site. It's almost unwinnable.
It's a bad look for sure. Wow, lots of early Molotovs coming in from the T side here from Tricked to try to bait a reaction. Maybe this is not the reaction that they were after though. Bihu pushing, Radio Room understanding that might be an upper push, and he wants to get behind it as soon as possible. They're going to drop down the vent here. This is beautiful from Tricked.
Bomb being planted around the back. Virtus.pro with control of the ramp. Acor is looking for the biggest flank of all time. Tricked have got a lot of position everywhere. Containment. Virtus.pro can't make their way down secret. Maybe the vents are open. But this is another risky situation where they might lose everything going for it. So far so good though. They've taken 2 plays up, but Bubsky is changing the game. 100 in the vent is going to make it really hard for VP, and maybe they're at the point of no return. Mihu hiding in plain sight, maybe looking for an ninja. He might have position for this, but he's got to get on the bomb. He's going to die otherwise. He's got no kit though, so the round is lost regardless. Hunden is here, and he will not let him escape. Or he'll try not to, but the spray's not there. And Mihu survives with 31 HP.
I actually didn't think he would live there.
Yeah, I thought he was done for.
Yeah. Like, I thought the bomb would kill him once Hunden tagged him a little.
But here we are. Their money, ooh, it's really rough for Virtus.pro at this point. 2 retake attempts in the B bomb site have proven to be very expensive for them. And Tricked are catching up now. And it's a weird situation where do you go for it, do you not, through their choke points? Because with these successive rounds from Tricked, they've got a really good chance of making it to 7 rounds now, when they only had 2 just a few moments ago.
Feels like it could have been so many more rounds as well, given how close some of the spots were earlier in this half. I mean, overall, they've, despite not actually winning a lot of rounds, they've had actually a very successful half in terms of getting some bombs down, getting some opening picks fairly reliably, getting map control where they wanted. They've had a lot to work with in a lot of these rounds.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like, you know, the Cloud9 game we saw yesterday,
Yeah.
where it seemed like they couldn't get anything going.
Yeah.
Tricked is getting things going. Like, their players are getting opportunities for frags. It's just they're falling apart late game.
Good timing from Snacks. Just trying to delay them, looking for those binks as they pass, but will find none. Belsky walking. Dry peek from Ramp. Nice flashbang comes in to deny Mihu. I'm not sure if that was a team flash or what that was. That was a flash from the T side, but they will take down Mihu regardless. Moving forwards, the Snatchy back in action. A nice flick there, drops 2 players, and do they want to continue forwards? I don't know if they have any choice but to try to force the issue here.
There's a crossfire set up for the CTs. Who's going to peek first? Veggie could do something devastating. There's the bait. The Snatchy comes up. There's a flashbang as well. And Hunden gets deleted. That's a big swing round for Virtus.pro. Again, if they lost that one, we were looking at a 7-8 scoreline for Tricked. But they prevail. And the money's been rough. Even though Tricked have won a few rounds, it has been costly for both sides. It's been a war of attrition. So maybe Virtus.pro can pull away once again. That is an amazing flick. So satisfying to land that.
Ooh, they're buying up. Going all in here.
Going for both rounds rather than one.
Maybe an upper rush is coming.
Yeah, they've done a lot with the utility. They made it into the B bomb site and kept Virtus.pro contained at the ramp with worse weapons, I think.
A little bit of burn damage. Some spray for the smoke. Oh, well, that's not good. Snatchy, he's been very problematic in this position. They don't really seem to be able to shift him. Have the Molotov there, but the damage has been sustained and it's too much. And then we'll go down 10-4 for Virtus.pro. They're playing really well. You got to give it to Virtus.pro. They've really, I don't know how, but they've just, it almost reminds me of old NIP, where it's like, I don't know why they're winning, but they're kind of winning right now.
Well, like I said, they weren't really playing the early rounds fantastic. Tricked was playing a much slower style, though, in those early rounds, and it looks like they tried to change pace, and Virtus.pro seems to be better when the pace is faster. It seems like they're using their utility in a very good way to stop these early secret hits.
Really back and forth game. So many different potential scorelines based on small situations we've seen. Flashes into the A-bomb site. PHR blind for a time. There's a Molotov from his teammates who isolates some players, trying to be conservative with the bullets he's got left, but time to reload. Time to get eliminated. Hunden and Acol remain. Then it was just Hunden with the CZ75 trying to find a 5th round. Can't find a rifle. Stuck in the choke point. Caught catching Snatchy off guard, but still going down. 11-4 for Virtus.pro at half-time. 17-5. A slow start for Snatchy, but he caught up pretty quickly. We'll see what happens after the break. the ladder we go. Climbing the ladder. What is it from Game of Thrones? Chaos is a ladder. I like that quote.
I don't remember that.
From Littlefinger. Chaos is a ladder.
So good.
Do you know what? I'll find a speech and say it in his voice in a minute. Bubsky's in heaven, and he's got players in hell. Not fans of his, though. These guys looking to impose their will. Look at this aggression. Hunden's going to get wrecked in the lobby, but Bubsky's held his position very, very well. 3 versus 2 now in favor of Virtus.pro. Soon to be 1, soon to be none. They take the pistol. This could be a fast nuke.
I'm just going to start copying James's picks. I'm over this.
Well, it's early days. All right, there's still plenty of time for Trick to figure things out.
There isn't plenty of time. It's 12-4. What are you talking about?
Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
This isn't a sprint, James. This is a marathon. It's a best of 3.
Yeah.
Chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder. Many people who... Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that voice that long. Many people who try to climb it fail and never get to try again. The fall breaks them. And some are given a chance to climb. They refuse. They cling to the realm of the gods or love, illusions. Only the ladder is real. The climb is all there is.
Nice.
It is kind of like the FACEIT grind, yeah. The solo queue. It's very true for solo queue. I'll never be broken though. I'll always climb.
Are you superstitious at all, James?
No.
No?
No. You?
Have any lucky socks or anything?
No.
But how's the climbing going though?
It's chaos, that's the point.
Stuck in one place.
Kind of. It is somewhat purgatory. Tricked are 3 versus 5 now. They've got the 2 deagles and the mag 7. There's still a chance. The glass has been broken though, so there'll be expectation from Virtus.pro. They've got a trade frag situation. Oh, 1! Only 1.
Ooh.
But Shush is going to do more than that. He's got an AK-47 now. The reload won't be punished by PHR, but he'll pick just in time before Shush can shoot.
Good damage.
Yeah, but it's 13-4. They
Yeah,
need more than damage.
He showed them who's boss though.
I need wins.
Did he?
Yeah, he's like, look at this. Oh, look at this.
Boss of the battle, not of the war.
Well, got the first couple rounds going to Virtus.pro. They're looking really comfortable here today so far. They look generally better than yesterday,
They do.
I gotta say. So I'm curious to see if Trick can find a way back into this series. I think they did get fairly unlucky in this map of CS. And look at this. We get the full ram stack. Boost all the men. All the mans.
It looks like Tricked is the better team, tactic-wise, but Virtus.pro players are playing on a higher level right now. Which means they're like winning all these late game scenarios and the pistol rounds go in their favor, things like that.
Yeah, their basics are pretty nice. Max 7 really not ideal for this.
Not quite the range.
But maybe Snacks can do it all with the block. There you go. One more.
What?
Makes sense. There's the Max 7. She's just waiting. Oh, he missed his timing. Can he get Snacks? It's already no well. Ooh, Snacks missed his shot. Can't get the Mag 7, nor would you maybe even want to. It's trying to be annoying. Keep someone on the bomb site. There it is. 14-4, and it might be the case that Tricked are ejected out of this game of Nuke fairly quickly. Maybe the best has come and gone for Tricked. We'll have to see. The first buy round could be the last one if they are unsuccessful. 4 AKs. What is this? That is off meta.
It's very off meta.
Come on.
How dare they?
Snatchy's 20 for 6.
I don't know like how much is left of old Virtus.pro and new Virtus.pro in terms of strats that will come over. I mean, it's pretty much just Snacks. But the execute they had into the A bomb site with double HEs into Mini was really sick. I think it was, I want to say it was Apex years ago who got blown up by that. I made a video from his POV.
Cuban's still there, right?
Cuban's still there, yeah.
So he's the only one that remained there throughout the whole thing. The Snacks went down.
Cuban's he's an undercover fashionista.
It is interesting because in like a lot of the traditional sports, if the coach, or rather, it's the coach that might be the first to go, as opposed to players in some instances. Obviously, CS:GO is not traditional sports, but
1 minute on the clock for Virtus.pro to make their play.
I think it's because right now in CS:GO, like a lot of people just don't know what the coach does
yeah,
and what they should do. Like even from coach to coach, they're very different.
yeah,
Yeah, there's no real definition, right? It's a
Yeah.
bit of a cowboy area. Some are like just motivational speakers, basically, and some are actual strategists.
Exactly.
Some are just stopping people from getting mad, but not really
Some
contributing in
Sonic
the server.
does everything.
Yeah, Zonic is the man. He's a great example. Shush is holding on for Tricked. He has the bomb, but there is time. There is time for Snacks to do something, but he needs more frags. Do you see 2 players there? Has he got the bullets for it? There's 3 now. Could go for damage at this point. Peeks while he's reloading, and he will die.
Snacks is definitely coming back into his own for Virtus.pro on this lineup, which has been great to see. I think it's something that you highlighted yesterday, Sean. This is nice for Tricked, but there's so far to go. So actually really weird looking at the nuclear reactor, because I watched Chernobyl recently.
Yeah, same.
It's good. Great show, recommend. And then going aggressive outside, although he's been spotted, so he'll pull back.
I was staring at James play Cash last night, and I was like, damn, I wish I went there when we were in Kiev. You know that Cash is Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wish you'd gone to Chernobyl?
Yeah, we had a chance.
Oh, like a tour of the
Yeah.
safer parts.
I don't even know what parts are safe after watching that show.
Yeah.
It's all a lie.
3 players remain for Virtus.pro. They're just 2 rounds away from victory. Tricked now. There's a chance they could have a solid run here on the CT side. By no means is this over. Such is the nature of Nuke. Easier said than done, however. But things look promising for now. Maycourt needs to warm up on the CT side of the AWP, it seems. He'll be smoked off. A Mac 10 frag on Hunden, and Veggie's got an upgrade, an important one, because one would expect somebody to be in hot position if they do pursue. They will look there, but I think there was a sound cue given as a jump off the hut was made. 40 seconds. There's still time to do something for Virtus.pro here.
So hard to stop this T heaven push unless you have a layered CT defense like this.
But still, like, so much as on Bubsky has to win the first battle. He's got a good off angle here, but his left eye, although he's much further away from the wall, so he's likely to get the advantage. They don't know exactly where he is. He gets the first one. That's the minimum secured, although Snatchy with a great shot. And now down to Rowe. He's very close. They may... Oh, that's the GG right there. Lovely stuff from Rowe. They did not anticipate that one. And that'll be another round for Trick. They do sustain some damage, but it's going to be taken and without too much trouble. So VP, they just need 2 rounds. Sean, if you're in this position, do you think about the game any differently in terms of how you want to do your calling when you only need like 2 rounds?
Yeah, I try to just get as many buy rounds in as possible. Like, this is the type of situation where I would get really annoyed as an in-game leader if someone like bought down too much, and then our next buy was terrible, and they couldn't buy nades. You'll see it sometimes actually when you watch pro matches. I'm just thinking like, wow, that in-game leader has to be so mad. So just having everyone stay focused is like the main thing.
Open for business. I like the peak at the same time. Hard to see through the mist of an exploded HE though, on occasion. JW has some funky highlights with that. Apparently that peeking behind a HE, spraying a Sonic Devil Walk, made popular a long time ago. So, Tricks are dealing with the issues for the time being. They're all alive for now. If they do lose that one round, they should be well equipped for the other one. But VP are back on the buy. Beyond the pistol, they've won both pistols, it's worth mentioning, versus Pro, but yeah, it's still a long way back for Tricks, so not too much room for error.
What's your thought on it, Dan? So say you're a 14-7 like this on like CT side does too. are you calling stacks for the rest of the game to ensure that you get two rounds, or are you just playing your own game?
For the T side?
CT side. Like if you're up 14-7 on CT side Dust 2.
Oh, you're up as the CT side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you
On Dust
calling
2?
stack? Are you playing your normal game, or are you doing weird stuff like stacking sites, almost guaranteeing yourself 2 rounds?
I think you play the normal game.
Yeah. I would always play the normal game too.
Because I think you can get yourself into some weird spots if you stack and ruin your economy, and then they get momentum. I think that's the issue.
Well, you wouldn't ruin your economy, because if you keep stacking sites
True.
and saving, you get as many buy rounds as possible.
But at the same time, I feel like if it goes wrong, then it gives an easier way back in, because the T side gets to swing on momentum, as you will have to like half buy or full save or run some full saves.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if people talk about it too much, but there's that. It's like that element of like Dusty's a good example on the T side. If you start off and you win the pistol, and then you win against the first buy round, you're like 5-0 up. There is like this element from that point forward where you have so much expectation you've created on the other team, you can more easily find solid calls.
Yeah, and that's why I think CT Dust 2 would be the scenario where you would stack places and save guns. That's why I use that example as opposed to Nuke. Because if you were ever going to do it, it would be there.
Virtus.pro have a chance of gain points. But where do they make plays? They know a player is in heaven. No sound cues from the Molotov, I don't think. Down the vents, there's a flank, I think, for the heaven position, so Snatchy's got to create space in the meantime and try and avoid getting sprayed down. Somehow still alive. He's had a lot of utility around that tricky position, but down he goes, and Mihu starts to creep up the ladder. Surely nobody checks this. Oh, can he get to... Oh, they're lining up!
Oh,
Mass confusion, and that's game point for Virtus.pro. Snatchy doing a great job of staying alive, being sprayed through Mini. Smokes up, Molotovs down, all kinds of nonsense. And there is the god flank from Mihu. Was this a meat shield at the end? He finally looked up and realized, but it was too late.
I'm not sure who fell off of Mustang, the rafters.
Was it Hunden? I think
but if he just stays up there, he could watch Hut and Mini.
Yeah.
And he would be in a position to pivot, like if that scenario happens, so that way they're not all in the same spot.
Yeah.
Then he would definitely get traded out.
That seemed like an
Just
oversight.
Yeah, just staying up in the rafters would have won that round.
Oh man.
Not even for the sake of getting the kill.
Speaking of tilting situations, that's a big one. Well, Trickter doing a good job at the beginning of this round. They got the bomb already. That might be a rip for Virtus.pro. Okay, the jumping UMP. Let's go. 3 versus 3 because Snatchy picks up a headshot as well. So all of a sudden, it's looking much more favorable for Virtus.pro. They do have to get the bomb still, I think.
Bomb surrounded.
So that's going to be the next challenge.
There's a minute on the clock. It's about the jewels.
2 mollies for VP.
Everybody waiting. Who's going to get curious first? Veggie's the man rotating. 45 seconds. Exchange of weapons. PHR low health. Maybe the man to go in for the others to trade afterwards. They need to give them enough. They need to give themselves enough time to actually move into a bomb site as well. There's the flashbang from Snatchy. No molly for him. He goes down. Where the Molotovs at? If they molly themselves up from the bomb at this point, though, they won't be able to collect it. So potentially too slow here. 17 seconds. He's got to grab that bomb and run into the B bomb site. Surely. He's going for an AWP. Is there time really to do this? Oh.
Just enough time. This is
Time,
rough.
yeah. Oh, that smoke.
Oh! That would have been fun.
He didn't even like tap the bomb yet.
No.
And so there's a peek before he taps the bomb. That's so risky. Oh my god. Okay.
Down to the wire.
Yeah, no kidding. 8 to 15. Okay. Trickster, and it's to win its VP. Only winning 1 round so far off outside of the pistol in this half. Oh, nice catch. Maycore. Not really much to speak of here for VP. So yeah, Sean, how much value do you think there is in terms of calling if, let's say, you win the first like 5 rounds in a row on your T side? You have that momentum, you know what the CTs are going to have and how their economy is.
So easy. It's so easy to call when your early game plan works, because then you know what the other team is going to like fight and fake off of, and you can call accordingly. Like, you know what has worked, and you know like what they're going to think is going to fix it. There's only like a finite number of things that could fix it in their mind if they don't do like outrageous aggressions, and it just becomes easier and easier to call.
I've always found it difficult to kind of explain or describe that kind of advantage. Like I can explain it in like a long form, why that makes sense. But I'd be struggling to put it into a phrase.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've ever thought of a way to explain that to people.
No.
Because almost it's just way more formulaic.
Yeah.
It feels like there's more, all the variables. It feels like they haven't branched out and,
Yeah,
and like
exactly.
oh, everything could be anything. It's all very controlled.
Because usually like you have fakes and like deviations off of your early strats that work, and if your early strat doesn't work, the chances are the fake probably isn't going to work either.
Right.
So like that immediately like exits your playbook at that point, and I mean it just opens up so many more things, because obviously the other team has to be fearful that you're going to run the same exact strat over and over and over.
Right. Okay, that's a cool way to define it actually, based off of this. Okay, so yeah, go back into the round. We can talk more about that later maybe. As we have Trick trying to survive, they have a better buy. They've got the AWP out onto A core, but Virtus.pro, they've got some firepower here as well. We'll see the outside smokes coming into play. What is this one?
That's the mini smoke.
Aha. My smoke game on Nuke is pretty bad.
The smoke game is pretty bad, full stop.
Hey man, I know lots of smokes.
You know more than Sliggy. He knows one. He can smoke top mid Mirage. That's literally the only smoke he knows.
Is that true?
Yeah. It's a fact.
It's like,
It's the only smoke I've ever seen him throw. Virtus.pro moving into the main position. Squeaky's blown up. There's a trade of the UMP. Back and forth we go. And Trickter on the back foot now. Acor looking for something, not finding much of anything though. And he's got to find something quick. Otherwise, this game is over. They know where Acor was. He's 1 versus 3. He's got a flash, which isn't really helpful in this situation. He's going to try. But I think that he would have invited an immediate spray. How on earth does he get a 1 versus 1 in this situation? Blind in multiple ways, waiting for the smoke to go. Now he could be in a few places. He's made some steps though, so they've got the full information. No one in the CT vent. That's a really great start onto Mihu. Does he look for the close one? He does, but not properly. And that's going to be a wrap. 16-9 for Virtus.pro on Nuke.
Yeah, pretty well played. It was an interesting game. I think the T side, of course, of Tricked was they had so much promise, but the main issue is that they just couldn't find a way to actually close those rounds when they got advantage, and that's quite surprising.
yeah, like I was saying, it just gets so much harder when you lose rounds like that as an in-game leader, especially on the mental state of your players and your team, right? Like, surely someone on the team is tilting at that point. They have such young players. They're blowing advantageous scenarios left and right. I mean, you could see they looked a little bit defeated by the time the match was over. They lost a lot of these force buys, such as the last round. Just a tough game overall for Tricked, in my opinion. I think they probably should show a different look on Mirage. Maybe get this series going a 3rd map.
Yeah, definitely agree with you. It'd be a lot easier to bounce back on the T side. You just get more space to work with, more easily at least. And you can see these scores here, the damages. Nothing too surprising, nothing too insane. It felt like we just saw some good basics, some good clutch from VP, especially PHR. I think he had some really critically important moments at the beginning of the CT side on some of the more difficult rounds, which then led to that spot where we had to struggle for Tricked, and then Snatchy started just wrecking everyone.
Yeah.
That's the first map in the bag. Nuke goes the way of Virtus.pro. We're going to have Mirage coming up for you, which is going to be an interesting one, especially because that's pretty much Virtus.pro's favourite map. So can Hunden & Co. take it to a 3rd map on Mirage against Virtus.pro? We shall find out after the break.